On Global TV News Express, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala reappointed as Director General of World Trade Organization. Federal government hands over $3.2 billion completed section of Port Harcourt's Aba Rail Line to Nigerian Railway Corporation. In business, federal government says electricity subsidy to heat for 2.4 trillion naira by year end. On the foreign scene, Russian President Vladimir Putin threatens Ukraine with new hypersonic missile. And in sports, Victor Osimhen vows to win UEFA Europe Cup for Galatasaray. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. Nigeria's Okonjo Ngozi-Iweala has been reappointed as the Director General of the World Trade Organization. This is her second term in office, which will end on 31st August 2025. She was first elected as the World Trade Organization DG on February 15, 2021, making her the first woman and the first African to head the World Trade Organization. The WTO, in a statement, says the organization's 166 members agreed to give incumbent Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala a second term as Director General, as she was the only candidate in the race. The Nigerian Army has confirmed that investigative journalist Fisayo Soyombo was arrested at an illegal oil bunkering site. The Army, in response to public outcry over Soyombo's detention, in a statement by the Acting Deputy Director of 6th Division Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma, explained that the operation leading to Soyombo's detention followed intelligence regarding a notorious gang of oil thieves involved in pipeline sabotage and illegal oil connections in the region. Danjuma stated that the suspects arrested at the site, including Soyombo, are currently undergoing preliminary investigations to determine their level of involvement. Recall that the Foundation for Investigative Journalism revealed on X that Soyombo had been held in Army custody for the past 3 days. The Appeal Court Lagos Division has nullified the conviction of Dr. Olufemi Olaleye, the medical director of Optimal Cancer Care Foundation, who had been convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment for raping his wife's niece. The court held that the prosecution's case was bereft of any credible evidence that she was a child, hence a discharge, and acquitted Olaleye after finding the judgment of the trial court to be faulty. Delivering the judgment, the lead judge of the 3-judge panel, Justice Olukayode Bada, stated that the trial court had erred in convicting Olaleye based on the tainted and unreliable evidence of his estranged wife, stressing that there were material contradictions in the evidence presented by the prosecution, which should not have been relied upon by the lower court. Recall that Justice Rahman Oshodi of the Lagos State Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court had convicted and sentenced Olaleye to life imprisonment for raping his wife's niece. Members of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Turnaround Maintenance of Nigeria's Refineries have expressed delight over the recent partial functioning of the Port Harcourt refinery. The committee chairman, Senator Kawu Sumaila, on behalf of other members, stated this after inspecting the Port Harcourt refinery facilities in Eleme, Rivers State. Correspondent Sharon Ajay has details.
The members of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee, led by Senator Kawu Sumaila, comprises of Senator Yahya Abdullahi, Senator Nkpigi Barinaga, Senator Karimi Steve, Senator Khalid Mustafa, Senator Abdul Ningi, Senator Shehu Umar, Senator Nwoyi Tony, Senator Allswell Encho, Senator Aliyu Wadada, and Senator Diket Plang. Senator Somalia commended the progress made in the refinery's rehabilitation, expressing optimism that the ongoing effort will ensure sustainability in refining petroleum products. He said the committee would ensure that the partial production and lift of fuel from the refinery does not suffer any setback.
Are you loading petrol from Port Harcourt refinery 3 days to today?
That is exactly what we are doing. We are loading petrol from Port Harcourt refinery.
Yes. We are here to bridge the gap. We are representative of the people. Therefore, we are here to take the message of NNPC to our constituencies, 109 constituency.
The managing director of the Port Harcourt Refining Company Limited, Engineer Ibrahim Onoja, highlighted that while production has resumed, achieving full capacity will be a gradual process, particularly with the blending of elements required for the premium motor spirit.
33,000, some are 45, some are...
So in a day, how many
So we can take up to 20 trucks. It takes about 18 to 50, 20 minutes to load the truck.
Another question. How many products are you loading?
Presently now, we can load PMS, we can load AGO, we can load DPS. But for now, we are loading PMS right now. But when we are doing...
Earlier, the managing director of the Port Harcourt Refining Company Limited, Engineer Ibrahim Onoja, conducted members of the committee round the first plant built in 1965 and its control room where the rehabilitation work has been completed with partial production of the petroleum products. However, rehabilitation work is still on at other plants domiciled in the same premises. While taking round the senators, the managing director explained that the facility is now operating at 60% capacity with a daily production of 60,000 barrels, representing a significant step towards reducing Nigerians' dependence on imported fuel. Operational activities at Port Harcourt experienced serious setback, leading to it being dormant for 23 years, with successive administrations pumping funds to ensure it resumes operation. This milestone achieved now is expected not only to enhance local fuel production, but also create employment opportunities and drive economic development in the region. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
The arraignment of the former Kogi State Governor, Yahaya Bello, at the Federal High Court, Abuja, has been stalled due to the absence of his lawyers in court. At the day's proceedings, Counsel to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Kemi Finero, had moved an application for the 19th count charge of money laundering to the tune of 80.2 billion naira be read to the defendant and his plea taken. Bello, who addressed the court himself, told Justice Emeka Nwite that he was notified of the arraignment in the late hours of 28 November. As such, he could not inform his lawyers. In a short ruling, Justice Nwite adjourned the case to 13th December for a hearing on abridgment of time and possible arraignment, ordering that Bello be remanded in the custody of the EFCC. The Federal Ministry of Transport has officially handed over the completed Port Harcourt-Aba section of the Eastern Narrow Gauge Railway project to the Nigerian Railway Corporation. The contractor, China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, CCECC, Nigeria Limited, handed over the project to the Federal Ministry of Transport at an event in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Project Supervisor, Federal Ministry of Transport, Engineer Ayo Dada, who received the completed assets on behalf of the federal government and officially handed over to the Railway Corporation, says the assets include the dismantled tracks, rehabilitation and construction of subgrade 62.800 kilometer, the rehabilitation and reconstruction of the 27 sets of the turnouts at Port Harcourt Station, Elelenowo Station, Obuzo Station, Omugo and Aba Station, among others. In a key milestone in Nigeria's shift towards cleaner and more affordable public transportation, the federal government has launched 15 compressed natural gas powered buses in Abuja. The buses were handed over to transport unions, including the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria, and the National Association of Road Transport Owners as part of the President's Renewed Hope Clean Energy Transport Scheme. Speaking at the handing over event, the Minister of Transportation says Ahmed Alkali emphasized the scheme's alignment with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vision of sustainability and innovation in the transport sector. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma has reiterated his administration's commitment to strengthening media practices and fostering democracy. The governor stated this at the 8th Triennial National Delegates Conference of the Nigeria Union of Journalists (NUJ) in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Imo State correspondent Amarachi Ibe tells us more.
Holding leaders accountable to the people they serve. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe reporting for Global TV News.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has disbursed 5.3 billion to about 95,000 Nigerian pilgrims who performed the 2023 Hajj exercise. NACON head Public Affairs Mohammed Musa, who disclosed this, stated that the refunds pertain to Mashil electricity services not rendered properly by the Saudi authorities during the 2023 Hajj exercise. Musa noted that the money is intended for onward disbursement to the respective pilgrims, while the remaining participating companies will also be refunded after due reconciliation. While 4,479,000 was remitted to state pilgrims welfare boards, the Federal Capital Territory and Armed Forces was also disbursed to 192 accredited tour companies that participated in the 2023 Hajj. President Bola Tinubu has applauded the Nigerian Navy for the collaborative and supportive efforts of international partners in advancing maritime security initiatives and promoting sustainable development of the Gulf of Guinea. President Tinubu, who was represented by the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, gave the commendation while delivering a keynote address at the opening ceremony of the 8th edition Symposium of the Heads of Navies and Coast Guards of Gulf of Guinea in Abuja. Kikeloma Okere has details.
The Gulf of Guinea is a crucial shipping route for global trade and accounts for about 60% of Africa's shipping trade volume. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, charged 8 of Navies and Coastal Guards of Gulf of Guinea to foster international cooperation to tackle maritime challenges and promote sustainable development of the maritime resources. He noted that through shared responsibilities and concerted efforts, the 8 of navies can effectively combat illegal activities at sea, protect the maritime ecosystem, and unlock the immense economic opportunities on the waterways.
It is therefore our collective responsibility to foster international cooperation to tackle these challenges and promote sustainable development of our maritime resources.
The Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, says the symposium underscores the importance of cooperation and the need to strengthen and expand existing regional and international security initiatives. He noted that the symposium is aimed to foster cooperation to the development of Africa's oceans, particularly the Gulf of Guinea nation's economy within the secure maritime environment.
There are still some myriads of challenges such as sea robbery, proliferation of small arms and light weapons, illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, human trafficking, just to mention a few. Most of these crimes are transnational in nature and requires collective approach involving all navies and coast guards.
France Naval Chief Admiral Nicolas Vajo says the symposium is aimed to discuss strategic maritime security issues in the Gulf of Guinea to strengthen the maritime security.
Regional cooperation is progressing positively. These various actions prove the relevance of the Yaoundé architecture of this integrated model. It's a goal to pursue our joint action and continue to develop our partnership. Based on the actual success, we will be there will be room for including able and willing partners who will contribute to the operations under Yaoundé architecture.
The 8th edition symposium of the Heads of Navies and Coastal Guards of Gulf of Guinea is tagged Maritime Security and Sustainable Development in the Gulf of Guinea reflects the essence of the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Kike Nomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Senate Committee on Army, led by its chairman, Senator Abdulaziz Musa Yaradua, has begun the screening of the Acting Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatubosun Oluyede, for confirmation as the substantive Chief of Army Staff. General Oluyede was appointed Acting Chief of Army Staff on October 30th, 2024, following the illness of Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, who passed away on November 5th, 2024. Global Television brings you the report. Senate Committee on Army, led by its chairman, Senator Abdulaziz Musa Yaradua, outlined the expectations for the nominee, focusing on his professional skills, strategic vision, and proposals for addressing issues such as military funding, personnel welfare, and territorial integrity.
This screening exercise intends to bring to bear your professional skills, experiences, and expertise based on your strategic security knowledge and vision towards defending Nigeria from external aggression, maintaining its territorial integrity, securing its borders from violation on land, suppressing insurrection, and acting in aid of the civil authorities to restore order, among others.
The screening exercise, conducted behind closed doors due to the sensitive nature of security matters, provided an opportunity for Oluyede to share his vision for the Nigerian Army. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting. You're watching News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Express returns, federal government says electricity subsidy to hit 2.4 trillion naira by year end. Details of this, as well as foreign and sports stories, coming right after this break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. If you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Express. In business, the federal government, through its Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, has declared that it would spend about 2.4 trillion naira on power subsidies before the end of this year. Next, Commissioner of Planning, Research and Strategy, Dr. Yusuf Ali, disclosed this at the PwC's annual Power and Utilities Roundtable themed Reigniting Hope in Nigeria's Electric Power Sector in Lagos. He explained that the subsidy had fluctuated due to foreign exchange challenges and tariff adjustments. Ali further emphasized that the 2.4 trillion naira is an annual estimate that could adjust depending on the monthly cost-benefit tariff, adding that the government is expected to finalize the total subsidy figure by year-end based on actual consumption and tariff trends. On the foreign scene, the inability of the Palestinian government to reach a peace deal with the Israeli's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been attributed to selfish interests of the Israeli Prime Minister and the inherent agenda of wiping out Palestinians completely from the Gaza Strip. The Palestinian envoy to Nigeria, Abdallah Abu Shawesh, made these allegations during a press briefing in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Anthony Mamadou reports.
Despite the war crimes allegations against the Israeli Defense Forces, the Palestinian envoy to Nigeria, Abdullah Abu Shawesh, has further accused the Israeli government of a hidden agenda of perpetrating ethnic cleansing.
Israel declared and allowed and declared goals behind the war in Gaza is to expel the Palestinian 2.3 million Palestinians from Gaza, is to raise and to completely make Gaza an unlivable place. and to settle in Gaza. So
Abdullah Abu Shawesh also fingered Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his political party's fear of losing political relevance for reasons they are sabotaging any peace deal with the Palestinian people to remain in power.
Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, know that if he will reach a ceasefire on Gaza or put an end to the war in Gaza, this means that the collapse of his coalition and his government, and in this case he will have zero impunity, and again in this case he will be jailed.
He expressed deep concerns over the inherent trauma the whole of Palestinians are going through due to the incessant bombardment and carnage faced by the Palestinians.
Because the trauma is repetitive and ongoing and continuous. It is not overstating to say everyone in Gaza is traumatized. 419 days of genocide and ethnic cleansing at the hands of the United States of America, Israeli.
The call by the international community and recent peace truce reached between the Lebanon government and the Israeli government is a glimmer of hope of a peaceful Gaza and Middle East. Anthony Momodu reporting for Global Television.
UK lawmakers have debated whether to advance emotive legislation to legalize assisted dying for terminally ill people in England and Wales ahead of an expected vote as competing protesters made their voices heard outside Parliament. The House of Commons last debated and defeated a euthanasia bill in 2015, but polls indicates that public support for giving terminally ill people the choice to end their lives has since shifted in favor. A change in the law would see Britain emulate several other countries in Europe and elsewhere who allow some form of assisted dying. Advocates also argue that it would make some deaths less painful. President Vladimir Putin has threatened to strike decision-making centers in Kyiv and Russia's new hypersonic missile. This comes hours after Moscow pummeled Ukraine's energy grid in an attack that left 1 million people without power. Russia fired more than 90 missiles and around 100 drones during the barrage, according to Kyiv, with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky urging his allies to respond firmly to what he dubbed Russian blackmail. Putin says the fresh bombardment was a response to Ukrainian strikes in his territory with Western missiles. In sports, Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen has pledged to bring European glory to Turkish football. Osimhen made the declaration following Galatasaray's hard-fought 1-1 draw away at AZ Alkmaar in the UEFA Europa League. According to reports, the Nigerian forward, who was instrumental in securing the result, netting a crucial equalizer in the 43rd minute after the Dutch side had taken an early lead, assured fans of his commitment to bring in the coveted UEFA Cup to Turkey. As we end the News Express on Global Television, let's look at a summary of our top stories. Nigeria's Okonjo-Iweala has been reappointed as the Director General of the World Trade Organization. The Federal Ministry of Transport has officially handed over the completed Port Harcourt-Aba section of the Eastern Narrow Gauge Railway project to the Nigerian Railway Corporation. In business, the federal government, through its Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, has declared that it will spend about 2.4 trillion naira on power subsidies before the end of this year. And on the foreign scene, President Vladimir Putin has threatened to strike decision-making centers in Kyiv with Russia's new hypersonic missile. And in sports, we told you Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen has pledged to bring European glory to Turkish football. That's it on News Express on Global Television, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, on StarTimes channel 276, and free to air on Nigecomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.